So hi, good afternoon, everybody. This is the ELO E2 introductory course. We're going to start by just taking a look at what the kind of material we're going to cover today, and then I'm just going to ask folks to introduce themselves around the room for a second. We might pause the recording to do that. But in any case, this is a 1-hour course. We'll try and go through the material. It's a lot of presentation, a lot of talking and demonstration of the software. And I realize it's a lot to take in an hour, but our goal is that you would get a nice understanding and you would have heard some of the terms that ELO uses to do digital document management. So our agenda, we're going to look at the various repositories that we have installed around the companies. We'll actually show you how you actually log in with the very same Windows credentials that you have. Like every morning when you come, you log into your desktop, the very same Windows credentials, which is the first name, first letter of your first name followed by your last name and the Windows credentials password that you use. That's the very same login that you'll use for ELO. Then we'll actually try and show you how to file into the repository. We'll talk a little bit about the folder structures, the permissions that underpin those folder structures, and how you can collaborate within your department and how ELO can be a good collaboration tool from that standpoint. And then lastly, we'll deal with search techniques. And all through, you will hear me discuss this whole keyword form issue. But right now, I'm just going to pause the recording for a second and try and get some introductions around the room. All right, so we'll jump into the first set of slides that we've put together. Just to give you a sense of ELO and the type of company it is. So ELO is a German company. They've come to us and explained that they've done really well in Europe. They've actually won awards in this category of software. And then they're in Germany. They have a lot of customers, mostly in Germany. They're in Germany. They have the likes of Lufthansa as one of their customers. Well, here in North America, I went to an ELO training fairly early in the year, and we've come to find out they're very early on, and so we're like the second company on the list. I'm sure they've grown more now, but the other company was Zachary Construction, which is a multi-billion-dollar construction company in the U.S. They do a lot of the government tenders and such. So for them, getting rid of paper was no small feat, and they've standardized on ELO as a platform. So from that standpoint, we're in good company. And I wanted to kind of cover a little bit about what senior management sees as what they hope to get out of ELO as they've invested in it for it to be fielded across all the Flexitalic companies. So ELO is certainly a platform for digital document management. It'll help us streamline our processes, certainly. But seeing that we manufacture things, the whole issue of regulatory and compliance is big all across the board. So with a tool like ELO, you will see I will highlight certain features that make it very easy for us to be able to comply with these standards. And mostly they have to do with good record keeping and document management. Certainly ELO has an open architecture. It allows us to integrate with tools like our ERPs. So at some point in time, we can, and there's a potential to integrate it with like AIMS. Down in Houston, we have QAD and Global Shop. So the company that actually, among all our Flexitalic companies, CM over in France, has actually been using ELO for the past couple of years now. They're on version 8, but they are one of the primary reasons why the tool was selected, they rave about the tool, and they've used it to a large extent in their location, in their business unit. And of course, we want to take digital documents and turn them into organizational intelligence. And while doing that, we do want a certain amount of standardization across the board. So we've all been doing things slightly differently, but with a tool like ELO, we hope to be able to standardize. Now, 6 repositories were fielded across all the companies. The one here in Canada, there is one in the UK, and it will house the UK Ltd, the German Flexitalic Germany, and then the one LLC based in Dubai. There in the US, we'll have Flexitalic LP, Custom Rubber, the corporate office themselves, and then China, FGT, is going to log in across the ocean there and utilize the server in the US. Now the servers, I mentioned 6 servers. They're actually 3, but they're fielded in pairs. So there's a test and a production server in every location. And the reason is because ELO is a tool that it gives you different pieces of functionality, but you can combine them in different ways to build these applications that will then streamline your processes. So in order for you to, as you get to know ELO and as you come up with ideas for where you can digitize your paper trail, then you might want to start there in the test system, prove it out first before you actually put it into production. So that's why they were fielded in pairs. Now, each of these 6 servers are the way ELO operates, they are distinct repositories. In other words, when you log into one of these servers, whatever's been set up, whichever companies that have been set up on it, they will not necessarily be able to see any other document or work process that is in another repository. They are standalone repositories. Another question I get a lot is, why did we do 6 servers? Couldn't it have been easier to just put them all in one server? And the answer is because as a company, Flexitalic works with the nuclear industry, and the nuclear industry requires that documents stay within the country of origin. So like, for example, in France, whatever documents they generate need to stay on the French server. So that was the added, I say it's a little bit more complicated because I'm having to explain it, and from your part, you're having to knowingly select the repository as you log in to do your work. So that's why there's this whole explanation about, all these different repositories that we have fielded. And another point about ELO is the fact that from an IT software perspective, other than Outlook and maybe Microsoft Office, there's not really a piece of software that really has been installed on every desktop. We're talking about the factory floor person all the way up to the senior managers. The factory floor person, we envisage will be using it for things like their engineering field specs or documents that are relating to the manufacturing process. And then senior managers are using it for corporate compliance and different initiatives that they have launched. So ELO will follow suit and become prevalent across all our computer desktops. And to that end, the whole idea that we are embarking on a journey to gain knowledge in ELO, and every piece of software has its quirks. It's not going to work exactly like how you might expect it to, but we're hoping that you'll be able to gain the knowledge and then be able to get comfortable with it. So we're hoping that within business units, we'll be able to develop the idea of power users. So not just relying on IT or the IT department, but power users within the business units who will then conduct lunch and learns and help in this journey of trying to gain a better handle and a better understanding of of ELO. So we say, a power user is just an ELO ambassador, someone that within the departments, they would be helpful in getting their staff members up to speed or being positive about it so that, as a company, we adopt the tool, because it is a strategic initiative, and rolling it out to all 450 people is going to be a journey of sorts. So we look to partner with our business users in order to do that. So that's the brief lay of the land. I'm going to switch into demonstration mode and actually log into ELO's. So